So the first question I want to ask you is, how many of you have actually set yourself a goal and achieved it in the past? How many of you have set goals in the past and achieved it? Can I see a show of hands? Fabulous. Okay, so my second question is, how many of you have ever set yourself a goal and not achieved it? Yes, that's what I thought. The same hands go up. So the question is not about whether you can or whether you can't set goals. The question is, how can you set goals in a way that you achieve them every single time? And if I could show you tonight how to set your goals in a specific way that you can set your goals and achieve them every single time, would that be useful? Would there be value in that for you? Fantastic. So really, it's all about results. Would you agree? It's all about results and being clear about what you want to achieve. So just for a moment, if I could I get you to stand up? I think some of you know I'm not a big fan of people sitting down for too long. So what I'd like you to do is to put your arms out like this. Okay? And then turn your right palm up. Now what I'd like you to do is to close your eyes. And remember, I've got my eyes open, so I do know who's cheating. So with your eyes closed, what I want you to do is to imagine there's a big, heavy book resting on your right hand. Not one book, it's about 10 books, and they're heavy, resting on your right arm, weighing your right arm down, down, down. You can feel your right arm just feeling so heavy. Then tied around your left wrist is a little piece of string, and there's some helium balloons attached to that string. And you can feel your left arm feeling lighter, 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 floating up, 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 while your right arm just feels heavier, 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 going down, down, down. Good. Now, wherever you are right now, open your eyes and look at your arms. And I'm seeing that some people are like this. Some people, there's just a little shift. And would you feel that the right arm is different from the left? Yeah? Good. So you can put your arms down and shake them out. Stay standing for a moment, because you're probably wondering for what purpose I asked you to do that. Well, I gave you suggestions for about 10 seconds. And I gave you suggestions that there was a big, heavy book on your right arm and helium balloons attached to your left hand. Now, if I'm truthful, you know there never were any heavy books, you know there were no helium balloons, and yet you accepted my suggestion, and it created a shift. It created a change. So my question to each and every one of you is, what has been the impact of the suggestions you've been giving your mind over the last 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, maybe 20 years? Because now you know you are suggestible. So are you giving your mind the right suggestions to get the results that you want? You can take a seat. So the first key is to be clear about your results, because what you're really doing when you're clear about your results is giving your mind a suggestion. But how do we get our results? Well, we have to do something, right? We have to take action. So to a large extent, your results are driven by what you actually do, your behavior, taking action. And your behavior is also driven by the skills and the capabilities that you have. Now, just for a moment, if you would, I'd like you to imagine a tree. And on that tree, there's some fruit. And you pick that fruit and you bite into that fruit. But it doesn't taste nice. It's not sweet enough, it's not ripe enough, it's not big enough. So you want bigger fruit, sweeter fruit, riper fruit. What could you do? Maybe climb higher. Maybe go to another tree. Or maybe go to a different supermarket. But what really creates the fruit? It's the tree, right? And what creates the tree? The seed, the roots. It's the roots that create the fruits. So just focusing on the fruit doesn't create more fruit. So just for a moment, consider the fruits of your effort, the fruits in your life are the results that you get. And just focusing on results doesn't create more results. Just waiting for results doesn't get you more results. You've got to dig a little bit deeper. So often I'm called in by individuals and organizations to give what I call skills and capabilities training. Maybe you'll ask someone like Ramez to come in and give you sales training, or maybe presentation skills, service excellence, leadership development. But here's the thing. What I've found is just giving people skills and capabilities very rarely ends up in a change in the results. We need to dig a little bit deeper. So one of the things that I do is start helping people to develop an attitude. Maybe I should just clarify that, because there's a big difference between having an attitude and having the right attitude. So this is about, are you the person who focuses on the glass as being half empty or half full? Do you see the good in everything, or do you look for what's right? Are you what I call a quality shopper? So you always look for the best in every situation. Because here's the thing, whatever you're focusing on inside affects the results that you get on the outside. Let me say that again because it's important. Whatever you're doing on the inside affects the results that you get on the outside. Are you up for another experiment with me? What I'd like you to do is just to look around this arena. I'd just like you to look around and notice everything that's red. So I think we've got some red over here, some red up there. Just notice and look around. There's some people in some beautiful red dresses that I've seen tonight. So just notice everything that's red. Now here's what I'd like you to do. Close your eyes again, and remember, I know who's cheating and peeping. So close your eyes again, and then inside your head, I want you to focus on the color blue. So close your eyes and say, blue, blue, blue. See the color blue, say the color blue, and focus on the color blue. So say the color blue, focus on the color blue. Just repeat, blue, blue, blue. See it, hear it. Good. Now open your eyes and look around. What's the first thing you notice? That's right, everything that's blue. Because whatever you're focusing on the inside affects what you get on the outside. So if you have a positive attitude and you're looking for the best in every situation and being what I call a quality shopper, that's what you start to attract. So now we've got people who've got a positive attitude. They've got the right skills and capabilities in maybe sales, in service excellence, in leadership, in presentation skills. Are we going to see a shift in the results? Yes or no? Possibly. Because we still need to dig a little bit deeper. Because here's the thing. Even if people have got a positive attitude, even if they've got the right skills and capabilities, here's the thing. If they don't believe they can get those results, if they don't believe that they can achieve their goals, let me tell you, nothing will happen. Because your beliefs are like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Have any of you ever heard that saying, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're probably right? And here's the thing, your beliefs are behind your behavior. They're behind every single thing that you do, whether you know it or not. You know, the other year, I was doing some training overseas, and I was staying in a rather lovely hotel, and I was staying up on the 5th floor. And the training room, and where I was delivering the training, was on the ground floor. So on one of the breaks, I needed to get something from my room really quickly. I had about 15, 20 minutes to rush up to my room on the 5th floor, get what I needed to get, and then come back down. So I rushed up, and I had one of those card keys. And I put the card key in the lock, and the red light came up. So I turned the key over, put it in again, red light. I did this a couple more times, and the red light kept coming up. Has that ever happened to you? So rather than go all the way downstairs again, I used my mobile and I called the reception and I said, look, I need to get into my room, and I need to get in my room quickly. You need to send someone up here right now and let me into my room. I told them exactly what I wanted. And I waited. And I waited. And I waited. So I called them again. And I said, look here, I'm still waiting. I need someone to let me into my room. You need to send someone up here really quickly. I haven't got much time. And just as I was telling them what I thought of them, the elevator door opened. And one of the hotel employees came out and he said, Miss Carroll? I said, yes, about time. He said, Miss Carroll, I'm here to escort you to your room on the 5th floor. It was at that moment that I realized that I was only on the 4th. Now, for what purpose do I share this with you? Well, when I was telling the hotel what I thought of them, I believed I was right, they were wrong. As it turned out, I was wrong. So what I'd ask you to think about when you set your goals, when you focus on your results, what if your beliefs about what you can and what you can't achieve are completely wrong? What if your beliefs about what is possible are completely wrong? So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to turn to the person next to you. You can be in pairs, or if there's nobody next to you, then just get into a little group of 3. And here's what I'm going to give you an opportunity to do. I'm going to give you an opportunity to complain, to moan, groan, and grumble, and give all your I can't statements. So you're going to bounce them back between each other, and it goes something like this. I can't get up early in the morning. I can't stop eating chocolate. Yeah, you like that one. I can't seem to find the time to get to the gym regularly. I can't afford the car that I really want. Does this sound familiar? So what I want you to do is to bounce a couple of statements back and forth between each other, all your I can't, I cannot statements, and I'm just going to give you about 15 seconds. Off you go. Okay, time out wherever you are. I'm not a big fan of people complaining, moaning, grumbling, griping for very long. So here's what I'd like you to do. Stay with the same partner, and instead of saying I can't or I cannot, what you're going to do is use the same statements, but you're going to say I won't. So it sounds something like this. I won't get up early in the morning. I won't stop eating chocolate. I won't find the time to go to the gym regularly. I won't be able to afford the car that I want. So instead of saying I can't, use I won't. And I want you to notice how you feel when you say I won't. So again, I'm just going to give you about 15 seconds to do that. Off you go. Okay, time out wherever you are. How do you feel when you say, I won't, rather than I can't? Is there a difference? Is there a difference? You know, most people tell me that when they say, I won't, it kind of feels like they've made a decision. Whereas I can't, you're helpless. But when you say I won't, it's as if you've made a decision. You know, during the summer, I had the opportunity to go to Ecuador. I was on a trip into the rainforest, and I must say it was a fantastic journey. But en route there, I had about a day and a half in Los Angeles. Now, ladies, let me ask you, if you've got a day and a half in LA, what the heck are you going to do? Shopping! So I had a very short space of time to go shopping. I arrived at the hotel at 3 in the afternoon. By 4, I'd had a shower, put my jeans on, I was out shopping. And literally, I'd only been around the shops for about 5 minutes, and this woman came up to me. And she said, I haven't eaten for a whole day. Can you give me some money? And without even thinking, I said, I can't. She turned around and she said, can't or won't? And it shocked me, because if I'm honest with you all, it wasn't I can't. I'd made a decision that I won't, Because could I have gone to a cash point and got some American dollars out? Of course I could. Could I have gone into a store and paid by credit card to buy her a meal? Of course I could. So I share this with you because I want you to know how often we say, I can't, and we give away our power and blame other people, when really, is it I can't, or you've made a decision that you won't? So pull yourself up and pull other people up next time you say, I can't. Is it I can't, or is it I won't? So now we've got people who believe that they can get the results. They've got a positive attitude. They've got the right skills and capabilities. Are we going to see a shift in the results? Yes or no? Yes. Possibly. Because we still need to get to those roots. And the roots are your values. Your values are your guiding force and your driving force. They're behind every single thing that you do. They're the reason that you do what you do. They're the reason that you get up every day. They help you decide what's right, wrong, good, and bad. They even help you decide what other people do is right, wrong, good, or bad. And here's the thing. Like your beliefs, your values are behind every single thing that you do, whether you know it or not. Do any of you remember the first Superman movie? And we're going back quite a while now. In that movie, Lois Lane turns to Superman and she says, "What do you stand for?" Quick as a flash, he says, "Truth and justice." Now, of course, we may not agree with his values, and we may not agree with a man who wears a unitard in his underpants on the outside. But he sure knew what he stood for. Do you know what you stand for? Because when you know what you stand for and your results are aligned with your values, let me tell you, it's like rocket fuel. And I always say it's the difference between a laser and a light bulb. If you take 100 watts and put it in a light bulb, you probably won't even get the light that's coming out of these lights right now. However, if you take the same 100 watts and put it in a laser, let me tell you, it's going to blow through every wall in this building. Why? Simple. Focus, energy, and alignment. Just imagine you have that same focus, energy, and alignment to get your results. So what is the difference between the goal that you set and achieved and the goal that you set and you didn't achieve? Well, I rather suspect that the goal that you set and you didn't achieve was one of those goals that if you set it, it'd be nice to achieve, but if you didn't, it doesn't really matter. Whereas the goal that you set and you did achieve, I suspect that goal was aligned with your values and what's really important to you. So next time you think about focusing on your results and setting your goals, make sure they're aligned with what's really important to you. And finally, remember, it's not just about getting things, it's not just about achieving goals. It's more about the person you become when you achieve those goals and get those things. So, as I finish off this evening, may I ask you that next time you set goals, next time you focus on what results you want to achieve, focus on results that help you transform into the person that you truly want to become.